This story is a fanfiction. What is said is not the true story of Haikyuu. SemiShira fanfiction. The girl with the love letter. Start. Semi and Shirabu were leaving the gym after their training. A girl stops in front of them, which has the effect of stopping the two boys. Hello Semi-senpai. Hey, do you need something? Actually, here. The girl holds out a pale pink envelope to the tallest. He takes it, skeptic under the gaze of his friend. As soon as the envelope was in his hands, Shirabu headed out of the high school, leaving Semi with the girl. Why does my heart hurt? Sensing that tears were coming down his cheeks, Shirabu speeded up to the bus stop. He waited a few minutes before seeing the bus arrive and to hear the voice of Semi calling him in the distance. Shirabu. He didn't answer and got on the bus as soon as he arrived. He presented his card to the driver and went to sit at the back of the bus. The bus started while Semi arrived at the bus stop. Shirabu watched his friend from the moving bus. He still had the letter in his hand and the girl came behind him. The bus turned at the crossroads. The last image Shirabu saw was the girl, hanging on Semi's neck and kissing him. This time, Shirabu could not prevent the tears from slipping on his cheeks. He put his earphones into his ears and bowed his head while listening to music. Why am I crying? The bus stopped and Shirabu came down. He went to his house under the faint rays of the sun. He went through the gate, unlocked the front door and closed it behind him. He took off his shoes and went up to his room. He locked his door, dropped his bag on the floor and lay down on his bed. His phone vibrated, which attracted his attention. He wiped his tears with a lapel before grabbing his cell. 3 notifications appeared on the screen. 2 missed calls from Tendo. 2 minutes. 17 messages from Semi. 10 minutes. 6 missed calls from Semi. 11 minutes, in order. As he read his notifications, his cell phone vibrated again. The screen was black, 2 buttons appeared red and green, and the name of his friend appeared white. He took a few seconds to calm down and then he picked up. Hey Tendo, finally. I was worried when Semi called me. He told me that you left without telling him. Sorry. Tendo, what's happening? What are you talking about? I'm fine. No you're not. Your voice is trembling. Tell me what's happening. Shirabu began to cry again, but this time he did his best to hide it from his friend. Tendo, despite all Shirabu's efforts to hide it, heard sobs through his phone. Shirabu, you know you can talk to me right? I saw Semi kissed a girl, he said between 2 sobs. And I don't know why, I can't stop crying. There was silence between the 2 boys. Only the few sobs of the little one reached their ears. Then Tendo's laughter accompanied his friend's tears. Shirabu wiped away his tears and calmed his heartbeat before answering his friend who was laughing. Hey, why are you laughing? Tendo calmed his laughter and replied. Shirabu, you're jealous. Then he started laughing again. Shirabu was sitting on his bed. His phone earlier to his right ear was next to him, his right hand holding the void. After a few seconds, when only the laughter of Tendo broke the silence, Shirabu took back his cell phone and remained the affirmation of his friend. No, I'm not jealous from Semi. Why would I? Tendo completely calmed his crisis before responding to his friend. You're not jealous from Semi. You're jealous from the girl. What? To be honest, you, Kenjiro Shirabu, you're in love with Ida Semi. What? Okay, listen. For almost an hour Tendo tried to explain to Shirabu why he had fallen in love with Semi. So, say it, I'm in love with Semi. As soon as he said this sentence, Shirabu realized this truth and unconsciously started to blush. I gotta go now. Wakatoshi-kun is coming over. Okay, bye. Tendo hung up and Shirabu lay down on his bed, pensive. Since when am I in love? He remembered the moments he had spent with Semi since they knew each other. He did not seem to have any feelings towards his elder, but Tendo told him that the more time he spent with Semi, the more he developed his feelings. The next day Shirabu prepared himself, without much conviction, for high school. He took the bus and arrived at the bus stop where Semi was already waiting for him. Hey, Shirabu ignored Semi and continued his way to high school. Semi stayed silent along the way but arrived in front of the high school. He turned his head towards his friend. Why didn't you answer my messages? Getting no response, Semi insisted. Shirabu, is everything okay? Yes. Leave me alone. Shirabu. Semi watched his friend move forward when a shrill scream sounded. Semi-senpai. The young girl ran to Semi, pushing Shirabu in her path. Shirabu fell to the ground, turned his head and stared at the girl with a murderous gaze as she took Semi into her arms. Shirabu got up and ran to the gym, leaving the other two alone. He didn't even help me. He arrived at the entrance of the building and let himself slide against the wall, tears running down his cheeks. Shirabu. The concerned looked at his two friends. Tendo sat next to his friend and took him in his arms while Ushijima knelt in front of them. It's Semi. Shirabu nodded his head and his tears redoubled. He could have helped me. Shirabu repeated this sentence in a low voice between two sobs. What happened? Shirabu calmed down enough to explain the situation to his friends. She pushed me, and he did nothing. The girl from yesterday. Shirabu took about 10 minutes to calm down completely and then he got up to go to class. Tendo and Ushijima walked a few meters behind him. Tendo speeded up to question his friend. You sure about this? What are you talking about? Are you sure you want to go to class with this mindset? Ushijima caught up with them fast enough. I don't really want you to miss class. But I think you really need a break. I'm okay. I don't need a break. You're out of practice. Go home after school. That's sweet. But I assure you, I don't need it. That's an order from your captain. I don't want to see you in the gym today. Thanks. At the end of the classes, Shirabu headed out of high school. I'm going to land with a book when I arrive home. He landed on the bench of the bus stop waiting for the vehicle. Once in front of his door, he unlocked it and entered. He went up to his room to put down his bag before going take a shower. Water was running down his face, making tears disappear with. Once with clean clothes, a black jogging and a white t-shirt, he sits on his bed with a bestseller. It had been almost 2 hours since Shirabu began reading. He placed his book on his bedside table and get down his bed. He stretched out and went down to the kitchen for a glass of water. While he was about to have a drink, someone knocked at the door. He advanced weakly towards the door before opening it gently. Hey. It took a few seconds to arrive to Shirabu's brain, who started to blush heavily before slamming the door in Semi's face. What the heck is he doing here? Semi knocked at the door, but this time if the door didn't open. Through the wood, Shirabu could hear his friend blowing. Shirabu, I know you're here. Open the door. Listen, I'm sorry. Tendo say that you cried because of me. And, that not what I want. I want to make you laugh. See you smile. Please, Shirabu. And for the girl, I said no. Why? I said no because. Because I'm in love with someone. Shirabu felt his heart squeeze. He lowered it and did everything to prevent tears from falling down his cheeks. Shirabu, it's you. Shirabu felt like his heart had missed a beat. Me. I love you, Kenjiro. This time Shirabu doesn't hold back his tears. Semi, on the other side of the door, blew a good blow. Reassured to have finally managed to confess his feelings, he turned around and began to leave. Shirabu, hearing him go away, took off from the door on which he had been leaning from the beginning and opened it wide. He rushed to Semi, who, hearing the door open, had turned around. Shirabu went into the arms of his elder in tears. Semi surrounded the smallest of his arms and pressed him against his chest, a big smile on his face. The two lovers remained like this until Shirabu was calmed down. Once this made Semi take off Shirabu from his torso and took his face in his hands. I love you, Kenjiro. I love you too, Ida. Once this declaration was made, Semi gently brought his face closer to Shirabu's. He closed his eyes and let himself be. Semi also closed his eyes as their lips came into contact for the very first time. During the few minutes that their lips touched, Semi had put one of his hands on the back of Shirabu's neck and the other under his chin to keep him from moving. Shirabu, on the other hand, loosened his grip on his eldest. He clung to Semi's sports jacket and seemed refused to let go. Their kiss was sweet and full of love. SemiShira fanfiction. The girl with the love letter. The end. I'm sorry if there is some mistake, but I'm French.